Honourable members, I want to welcome you to the fourth sitting of the second session of the first Parliament of the Youth Government System of the International Youth Network for United Nations Resolution 2250. Prayers. Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this Parliament of the Youth Government System of the International Youth Network for UN Security Council Resolution 2250. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give divine guidance to the youth president and his youth ministers. Endow youth members of parliament with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of this international youth network, the interests and wishes of members may be well and truly served, and that good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of our network, fair as it might be, a network of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a network of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a network of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service and honor shall be given to the deserving, a network of peace, where this youth governance shall rest on the will of its members and the love for the common good. Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality, inspire and strengthen our people, and they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of this youth government system of IYNUNSCR 2250, Ghana and Africa. Amen. Honourable members, I am James Amegashie-Viglo, the Speaker of Parliament for this particular meeting. I want to welcome you all to our second parliament sitting of the session of our first parliament. Today's business is brief, and motion today is our main business for this sitting. And I would want our members to prepare their submissions on the date for the day. I will be briefing the House on the open nominations for the three arms of the youth government system. I will also give a progressive report on the numerous committees we have as a House. And the most debate is that the legislation should be elected by Parliament in order to promote their independence, rather than being appointed by the President of the Republic. The majority caucus is for the motion, and the minority caucus is against the motion. For members who cannot their caucus can join any side of the House that they so desire. I want to call on members of the House to note that 1 hour has been allocated for this virtual session. The difference that I will give, question and answer shall be taken, and within the 10 to 15 minutes, we shall be done with the first business, so that the rest of the 45 minutes shall be allocated for the debate of the House, and the House shall adjourn. I also remind members that members to speak, since this is a virtual sitting, are expected to raise their hands as display the palm that is at the bottom of their phone. When you press that button, I will be notified that you wish to speak. I'll call you to speak. You are reminded to go straight to the point in asking questions or making submissions. Once again, welcome you all. Moving straight to the first business of the House, which is on the open nominations. Honorables, I recall that of August, the youth government system opened nominations for vacant seats within the Parliament. As of now, we only have 100 seats filled, and we have over 150 to 70 other states yet to be filled. That nomination was open for them. The form has been shared. Applicants that are yet to hear from us, the nomination has not been closed yet. Likely to close nominations by the end of October, so that November will be used to allocate seats. It is also possible that people who have already applied will start considering them within October, but we want to open nominations for longer to the end of October, and November we allocate seats. Then we prepare the current house to form the new parliament, which will be the second parliament. And also, we open nominations for the youth ministers that do not have ministers and deputy ministers. Nominations as well. All the main ministries in the Republic of Ghana are all supposed to have youth ministers and deputy ministers. And nomination has also been for them. Here as well are the discretion in collaboration and consultation with the youth president. Their nominations to code appropriately. But the due date that is being considered in October, it could be at the end of August, that their nominations, at the end of September, their nominations can be closed, that the youth ministers who apply can be allocated their seats. And also, the youth judiciary as well has opened nominations, youth Supreme Court justices, youth Appeal Court justices, and youth High Court justices. And this as well, nominations for them will also be closed at the end of October. And the applicants would be appointed to the various courts. So that as of now, the youth government system has a youth president, a youth vice president, chief of staff, deputy chief of staff, and some ministers. The youth parliament has a youth parliament, clerk, deputy clerk, marshal, and some number that's already told you. Leadership has been partially formed led to the deputy whips, of whom will be appointed before the end of this month. The youth judicial branch only has the Chief Justice, who already took his oath on the 3rd of August. That is the status of the current youth government system. And the aim is to have already before dissolution of the current house, so that the next house will be formed, which is the second parliament, by January 2025. The arms are expected to be fully closed. Now I'll open the floor for questions. Questions by members of parliament or applicants that are currently online, if they have questions pertaining to this. The floor is open. Thank you. Yes, the floor. Are you okay? Are you all satisfied with the updates that has been given, or you have inquiries to make? Please, if you have inquiries to make, kindly indicate so by raising your hand, just as I have done, and I'll call you. Okay, I think from indications, is basically satisfied with the update that I'm giving. I want to call on all of you to share the flyer. As you have seen, the flyer is currently on display right now. And I want to call on all of you to share the flyers for your colleagues to apply so that we can have more applicants joining. Application is free and there are no financial commitments to this course as of now. So I call on all of you to share the flyer. Now, moving on to the next business of the day, that is progress report on the formation of committees of the House. Yes, so honorable members, as you can all recall, we have started with the process of forming committees of the House. And we have shared a WhatsApp message where members can indicate their committees of choice. And we want at least every committee to have at least one or two persons of interest whom can serve as chairperson and ranking member before we form. And as of now, I must say that about 80% of committees have at least two, let's say 70%, have at least two MPs who have indicated their interest in being part of such a committee. But the rest 30, we only have one person. Even there are two committees, even three committees right now. Not even a single person has indicated his interest to join. And what that leads to is that at discretion, we have to appoint members to join. But we want the chairperson and ranking member to be people who have taken of that committee willingly. So right after we have that, by the end of September, committees will be formed. And it will be first formed with members with interest, and then members who have not shown interest yet would, at our discretion, appoint them to join committees that we see them befitting to be part of. Kindly allow me to list the committees of the House for your attention. Now, members, the committees of the House are: 1. The Standing Orders Committee, chaired by the Speaker of Parliament. That committee is responsible for the standing orders. 2. The Appointments Committee, chaired by the First Deputy Speaker. 3. The Committee, chaired by the Majority Leader. 4. The Privileges Committee, chaired by the Second Deputy Speaker. 5. The Subsidiary Legislation Committee. 6. The Finance Committee. 7. The Publicity Committee. 8. The Intelligence Committee, chaired by the Minority Leader. 9. The Youth Ministers Oversight Committee. 10. The Youth Justice Oversight Committee. 11. The Internal and External Affairs Committee. 12. The Organizing Committee. 13. The Committee on Food and Agriculture. 14. The Committee on Lands and Forestry. 15. The Committee on Health and Safety. 16. The Committee on Constitutional, Legal, and Parliamentary Affairs. 17. Committee on Works in Housing. 18. Committee on Local Governments and Rural Development. 19. Committee on Communications. 20. Committee on Foreign Affairs. 21. Committee on Employment, Social Welfare, and State Enterprises. 22. Committee on Defense and Interior. 23. Committee on Trade, Industry, and Tourism. 24. Committee on Environment, Science, and Technology. 25. Committee on Education and Literacy. 20. Committee on Children and Social Protection. 27. Youth, Sports, and Culture. 8. Committee on Mines and Energy. 29. Committee on Roads and Transport. and 30 on in agriculture. Honorable members, the floor is open. Yes, honorable members. Yes, honorable members. With respect to the membership of committees. For members who have made their applications and are interested in joining the committees, perhaps we can fast track your appointment so that you can be part of the committees at its inception. Currently, committees lacking chairpersons are the Subsidy Legislation Committee, the Youth Justice Oversight Committee, the Committee on Works and Housing. Okay, let's hear from Honorable Emmanuel Owusu-Boakye.
Okay. Good evening, honorables. Good evening. I believe each and every one of us is doing very well. Thank you, Mr. Viglo. Thank you for the updates. If I really heard you well, you made mention of the various committees involved and made us understood that to those that have already applied or showed interest in any of the denominations, I just want to know and find out, once you apply or you make any interest in a certain field or portfolio, are you automatically appointed in that category, or there will be an election concerning that?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, this is an official sitting of the House, so you address me as the Speaker.
Okay, sure.
Secondly, did you apply to be a youth minister, a youth justice, or youth MP?
Youth MP, please.
Okay, so for youth MPs applicants, first of all, we have to assign you to a constituency. After we assign you to a constituency, before you cannot join any committee of the House.
Okay.
The first item of the day was on opening of nominations. But this item that we are talking about is about formation of committees of parliament. So what I was talking about was that members who are active on the page have indicated committees of interest of them for the consideration of the committee selection. So that when we are forming the committees of the House, they are considered and put forth in those committees that are of interest to them. So with respect to you, that is why I stated that for applicants that are ready, we can actually fast track and confirm you and assign you a constituency this month so that you can indicate committees that you even want to join and you can be part. But we have in our plans to close nominations by the end of October because the number of seats left are plenty. So for those of you who are interested and are ready, and are serious, we can actually assign constituencies to you this month so that you can be part, you can indicate committees you want to be part of. But we would officially close nominations at the end of October. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I've gotten the right information. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. For those who are active and are ready to be assigned your committees, I will look at assigning your constituencies to you this month so that we don't keep you waiting till November. Because I can see a lot of applicants here. They are even more than the youth members. Yes. Okay. Is that all the questions? If that's all the questions, I've already indicated that we wish to just spend an hour for today's sitting. Honorable Emmanuel, kindly mute your mic. Okay. As I indicated to you, we intend to just spend an hour for this sitting. And I've already spent 20 minutes. So I would like us to move forward to the next business of the day, which is a debate on our motion for the day. May I have the privilege? I have the privilege as the speaker to give an opening statement on this motion, since we don't have a lot of MPs here. So today's motion is talking about the fact that this House wishes to resolve that the Electoral Commission of Ghana should not be left to the president to nominate chairpersons and deputy chairpersons of such a commission of the Republic of Ghana. And this is because we want the independency of that commission to be undoubted. Obviously, the President of the Republic is a member of a political committee, and there are high chances that the President shall appoint a member of his political party to be part of the Electoral Commission. However, the Electoral Commission is an independent body of the Republic. This means that a person that is supposed to be part of an independent body must also be independent without holding allegiance to any political party. That being said, means that any person to be part of the Electoral Commission, especially as high-ranking leadership, should not be part of any political party. And with respect to just literal meaning, it means that anyone who is not part of any political party does not owe allegiance to any political party. Now, for someone to nominate you, it means he has an interest in you. And for want of better words, in order for the president to win political points in subsequent elections, he would obviously nominate someone within his political party who can champion the aims of his party in an independent body, thereby flowing the entire reasoning of the commission being independent. What do we mean by the independency of a constitutional body? The independency of a constitutional body means that body shall not be influenced by any other arm of the republic to take decisions in their favor. That body is free of influence from any other arm of the republic or free of influence of any other political force. That body should be able to take decisions that are fair and impartial to promote the cause of their existence and in the performance of their duties. So coming back to the motion, having a president to appoint the leadership of the Electoral Commission is some way somehow have killed the intent of the Constitution in having the body being independent. Because obviously, whoever will be appointed will owe an allegiance to the president, even if they satisfy the clause of not being part of any political party. Whoever is appointing you, you owe allegiance to that person. Even taking this particular circumstance, Parliament, we see our members of Parliament holding their party first before Parliament, before their own constituents. It is because whoever gives you the tickets to go to Parliament, you owe that person an allegiance. So whoever provides the gateway for you to enter the Electoral Commission, you owe allegiance to such a person. So this is the motion of the House, and I now want to leave it to members to now share their divergent view on the motion. Members are free to agree with the motion, and members are free to disagree with the motion. The floor is now open for submissions on the motion for the day. Honourable members, the floor is open. Please raise your hand if you want to speak. Honourable Brew, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, this is Honourable Joseph Kwesin, MP for Hunter West. Honourable Speaker, the motion before the House that is saying that the EC should be elected by Parliament in order to promote their independency rather than being appointed by the President. Honourable, since today we are having a free Parliament and everybody can stand for or against, I want to stand in favor of the motion. The EC is one of the most important organ or important body in the country as long as election is concerned. And we all know the intentions behind elections, and everybody, whether being it in power or being it somebody now fighting into power, everybody really wants to win the election, and election can only be declared by the Electoral Commission. For this matter, the appointment of the EC by the President will have a long way to influence the decisions of the EC. In as much as that the elections are being won at the constituencies level, and whatever that transfer at the constituency level is what the EC would declare. The EC also has the power and also has its own members to declare the conclusion who has taken over the battle will be only declared by the EC. For this matter, if the Parliament are given the opportunity to elect the EC, first of all, it will help them in their dependency in areas of their work. We say that the Parliament will ensure independence from the President and members of state, allowing the EC to make decisions based on the results that they are having. This means that the EC will now be independent body working on its own, which will not have influence from the president or the sitting government. Number two that I also like to talk about would be accountability. Right, Honorable Speaker, if the EC, if the Parliament are given the opportunity to elect a EC, it will help them to be very accountable. Their decision and their work, if they fail in any of their duties, they can be called to Parliament for accountability's sake. Number two, it also demonstrates our democracy and our legitimacy. The direction election by the Parliament enhance EC democratic legitimacy and connections with the citizens. So I believe the fact that if the EC, if the Parliament are given the opportunity to elect the EC rather than the president appointing the EC, it will help them, it will promote our democracy, and then it will also focus, or it will also promote accountability and independency in the areas of the electoral commission. Then number three, the last point that I also like to talk about will be the reduction of political interferences. So we are aware, as long as somebody is being appointed into an office, it seems like somebody showing you favor. And if somebody has shown you favor, no matter how your work are being treated, you also would like to return the favor to whosoever had favored you. That is a natural norm for every human being. So if the president appoint Mr. A into an office and Mr. A want to do something and the president said that this thing, do it this way, Mr. A has nothing to do rather than to do it in the way to favor the president who has given her, who has given him or her the opportunity to lead that position. And that is what is destroying the system that we have in this nation. So I believe that if the Parliament are given the opportunity to elect the EC, reduce the EC by Parliament, will reduce political interferences from the president and the members, allowing the EC to focus on the work that he has been called to do. Right, Honorable Speaker. On this note, I would like to say that it is I, Joseph, support the motion that the EC, the Parliament, should be given the opportunity to elect the EC for the nation. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable. That was a brilliant submission. Honorable Search of your Samson, do you want to make a submission on the debate? Yes, Honorable Samson, do you want to speak on the motion?
Be back.
Okay. Honorable members, the floor is still open for submissions on the motion for the day. Honorable Wisdom, Naomi, Justice, Joseph, and Emmanuel, you can all speak on the motion for the day. Okay. Whilst we await members to speak, may I also advance my earlier submission? Because the question will be, per the current constitution, the Electoral Commission chairperson and other key members of the Electoral Commission are nominated by the president, subject to the approval of Parliament. So colleagues on the other side could make a case that if the person does not satisfy the qualification indicated in the Constitution, obviously Parliament would not approve such a person. But just as my colleague spoke after me, the person within himself owes allegiance to the president if he goes through. Now, you cannot propose something without giving us the implementation model. The view of the House is that anyone wishing to be part or to lead the Electoral Commission at a time that the clerk to Parliament, on the directive of Mr. Speaker, due to a vacancy created from death, resignation, or removal of the substantive leadership of the Electoral Commission, shall open nominations to the entire public to apply for the position of chairperson or deputy chairpersons of the Electoral Commission. And interested members shall file with the necessary details and documentation. They are subject to at least a week of public scrutiny, where all aspects of their life shall be investigated to be sure that they are not part of any political party and do not hold any damaging relationship that can hinder their independency in the work with any political player. Then after they are being publicly scrutinized by the appointment committee, the said person on the day of voting whether or not he should be part shall come and make a final submission to Parliament. That is when only one person has applied to be part of the Electoral Commission or lead the Electoral Commission. In a case where there are more than one, both applicants shall come to Parliament and within 30 minutes shall state how they will lead the Electoral Commission. Something like a manifesto. For 30 minutes, they shall bid. However, we need to ensure that the bidding will not be monetized. And after they speak, members shall vote for the applicants that can best do the job and have the nation at heart. Through secret ballot, it shall not be an open ballot, so that there will be no political whipping for a candidate who is likely to have a damaging relationship with any political party. And whosoever emerges as winner through simple majority is then sworn in by the Chief Justice after the Speaker declares the person the winner of the Electoral Commission election. And then he goes forth and lead the Electoral Commission. Not the president swearing the person in. The Chief Justice shall swear in the person. So that is the solution that we have seen. Of course, every model is likely to have its pros and cons. Colleagues from other side can make a case that regardless, political parties can sponsor a particular candidate who have been independent. He's not part of any party. But upon him showing interest, the political party will sponsor him and will bid for him upon their own secret conversations that he would, of course, pursue their aims. But however, Parliament will pass the Anti-Influence and Monetization Instrument, which upon any candidate being noted or being unveiled or exposed that he has had such secret meetings or a political party is sponsoring him, would be immediately disqualified from the race. And in this modern Ghana, with the advancement of technology, nothing is a secret anymore. So it is highly possible that politically sponsored candidates will not be able to stand that particular instrument because members from the other parties will also be vigilant. Any member that is being, or any applicant that is being seen to be sponsored by a political party will be exposed. And upon the first established, is eliminated from the race. So only applicants that do not have any political influence on them will be able to survive through. Because upon knowing the existence of this law, both parties will be vigilant to ensure that none of their colleagues would have an upper hand over any candidate. And Parliament will vote for applicants that are fair to both of them to lead the cause. This can also be done to the appointment of justices of the Supreme Court and Chief Justice, the Auditor General, and other notable independent constitutional bodies. The same method of appointment comes for them. So that is why we are calling this method to be adopted. Colleagues from the other side can also make the case that it becomes a long procedure to do this. Yes, maybe long, but it is the result that we want. Unlike when the president will nominate, it's just a very fast procedure. He goes through and that's all. But we want someone who acts in the interest of the nation and not a political party. Where we have members of the Electoral Commission working in favor of one political party against the other, who in most cases are the governments of the day. We all know that we are approaching a crucial election in the history of Ghana, where we have an outgoing vice president bidding for presidency and a former president bidding for presidency. The Electoral Commission should be the last body seen to be partial or lots of issues can sprout up. That is why this motion is being called upon, basically to further the cause of our democracy. Honourable members, the floor is still open for submissions. Yes, the floor is open. Do you have submissions? Yes, Honourable Wisdom.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and good evening to you all. This is Wisdom Madam Salamti, the Yellow Crobo. the Yoruba member of parliament. I would like to speak against the motion. Since we have a member who spoke for the motion, I would like to speak against the motion. Let's bring something here to down the lane. Integrity. Yes, one way or the other, if it should be appointed by a president to hold a particular office, you hold allegiance to that particular president. But you do not hold allegiance to a president more than you have for your own beloved country. And you are holding allegiance to a particular president. 4 or 8 years later, that said president will be out of office. Your integrity is still at stake. Now, after you are done with your work, after you've moved out from office, you are coming to face the public. How are you going to feel that in your time you favored one political party because that political party president appointed you to be the EC boss? So you to being that you did things in favor of that same political party. I believe our moral should be
it even comes to common SRC elections as well. We have youths who are ready to sow their integrity just for their candidate to win. Whilst in SRCs, we don't even have political parties there. We don't have political parties in SRC. But SRC electoral commissioners are ready to sow their integrity just for a friend, not even a political party, just for a friend to. Let me just refer you to even the latest student election being held. And that is what you already know, just 2 days or a day ago. The USAG election has been postponed because of an incompetent electoral commission. You can even cite a lot of SRCs that are going through this. There are no political parties there, but students who have future that are given the rule to conduct elections for their various institutions are ready to even sow their own reputation for whatsoever cause that is of interest to them. And it's very sad. So we look forward, as much as possible. Afarijan was appointed by a president on the ticket, a president who was elected on the ticket of the NDC. But Afarijan was very fair in his dealings and was very independent. He was not influenced by any political party, not even by the appointing authority. And he still stands as the best electoral commissioner we have ever had. Well, who has actually had very less allegations. Yes, so it is very possible that we'll have people, regardless of the fact that they have been appointed by the president, who will be very fair in their dealings, be impartial, and will perform their duties to the best of their ability to further the cause of this nation. It's very, very possible. Honourable members, the floor is still open. The floor is still open for contributions on the motion. Yes, honourable members, the floor is open for contributions on the motion. Yes, Honorable, you can speak.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I think that most of the thing I wanted to talk about, you have said it when Honorable Wisdom was talking about integrity. Honorable Speaker, it's true what Honorable Wisdom was saying is true. But as you rightly said, that how many people do we have them in this nation? In our present economy that we live now. Now, people are no longer thinking of integrity as they used to whilst years back. As years back, people were much concerned about, oh, this is who am I, and I want to protect my name. Name was of importance to man. But in our current, let me say, generation or dispensation that we find ourselves, people are much interested in money and what they are going to get rather than their integrity or rather than their name. So as you rightly said that even the SRC that is not for political, how do you call it? It's not based on political background. People interfere. Yeah, it's true. We have also experienced some. Even our own, it was how do you call it? Electronic vote. But yet, at the long run, people still manage in order to do in favor of a friend that they say, oh, we are living, we are on the same room, we live in the same room. The person is coming from my room. So for that matter, let me do something in favor of him. So look at this, something that is not based on political background, just normal SLC, just 1 year, and you are off of office. People are doing that. How much more something that is lasting for 4 good years? If the sitting president comes in, the sitting president has 4 years, and the EC also has, let me say, also 4 years. If I want to put it in that context to see that if the person has 4 good years ahead of him, that means that anybody can do anything drastically as long as the appointment is concerned. So on this note, I still stand for the motion that the parliament should be given the opportunity for them to elect themselves, not just to approve, but rather to elect the EC. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Wisdom.
Yes, thank you, right, Honorable Speaker. Yes, I'm back again with the integrity. Yes, Honorable Blue, you are very 100% right with what you said. Even if the appointment or the election is coming from Parliament and the person, one way or the other, the person will favor one particular party, Let's take a very critical look at it. Now, integrity. This is how we can solve this thing simple. You see, we've always been saying that even just common SRC elections have been this kind of things, even without any political affiliations and stuff. Now, integrity is a moral principle. So you know that this is what you should do and this is what you should not do. I believe this is not part of our discussion, our business of the debate. Let me chip in this thing. It's all starts from our basic schools, our schools. I've been saying this thing that the very people we see at the helm of affairs today, they are all from the schools. And the schools are the very institution producing bad leaders and stuff. There's no integrity in our schools and stuff, right from the basic to the university level. Should this thing is being taught in the school, you all know that, look, if I should do this and this and this and this is the outcome. This is the result that I will get from it. Right from your infancy, you know. These are not taken into account of any parliament electing a candidate to lead the EC. If the person will still go in favor for a particular party, the person will go in favor of a particular party. The integrity should be a key thing that should be preached right from the schools. So that when after school you graduate and you go in for a leadership position, you know that this is what you are being taught in the schools. But here lies the case. Even the universities we have are the very institution producing the quote unquote thieves we have among ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Wisdom. Yes, any other submission? Yes, Honorable Justice.
Right Honorable Speaker, good evening and good evening to my colleagues. I would like to make a little suggestion. And my suggestion is that it is true we cannot do this without the integrity. And then we cannot also say that because there is integrity or there is no integrity, we should allow our presidents to appoint the ECs. But we also have to allow the parliaments to elect the ECs after scrutiny, and they make sure that whoever is being selected is someone with integrity or someone of integrity. But then what I'm thinking about is, what if after selecting the EC, an EC who is held at polling stations to the individuals at the various polling stations? Manipulation of results and others can happen over there. So again, integrity has to be a key instrument in solving this issue, not forgetting the importance of parliament too in this issue. So we just have to find a way of blending the two to getting a better result. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Justice. Honorable members, any other submission? Honorable members, any other submission on the motion for the day? I think to aid in the conversation, I'm aware UPSA SLC elect the electoral commission, and the electoral commissioners are elected during their general elections. But I don't know whether that has solved the problem. And I think for you, House as well, it is the parliament that elects the electoral commission. But has that prevented the issue of allegiance towards a cause? Or when they get corrupted, looking for deeds from candidates for them to work in their favor? Yes, honourable members, the floor is still open for contributions on the motion. Yes, honourable.
All right, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, my own, I know we are the youth, and most of the times our voice also reach to the main parliament, the floor of parliament. But Honorable, right, Honorable Speaker, I would like to ask this question. You see, the debates where we are having today, we are looking at the EC, whether being appointed by the president or being elected by the parliament. But Mr. Speaker, the appointment and the election of the EC will only be the, let me say, the EC boss, the high commissioner, the boss. But if you want to talk about the meaning of election or their main duties, the EC boss only just announced what has been submitted to him or to her. The rare EC are the one at the constituencies level. So right now, I don't know whether it's a question or it's a suggestion, but I'm trying to put across that it will be far better if the one that's been appointed by, after he been appointed, how does he also get people from the floor? Because I know that they normally just bring, how do we call it, nomination out or flyers out. Those that think they can do it, fellow citizens that they think they can do it, will really just file for it, and they will go and work as a VOs, or some of them will work as the ballot tissue, all helping the EC work to grow. So if there is a manipulation of results or whatever, it starts from the, how do we call it, electoral area before it even gets to Accra, the EC headquarters. So I just want to pass across that if it will be possible, then the ones that we selected outside, there should be a system, because whosoever will be found for this EC electoral office, or how do you call it, positions, is from a political background. And because the country is so wide that the EC boss cannot do the work alone, and we still need people in order to help in the constituency basis or in the constituency level, you still need to go down. But I want to just take the plea that we're doing this, there have to be measures put in place in order to ensure that the manipulations of results will no longer go on, or will at least will minimize. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. It's very important that you draw attention to that. I agree that the people to do the main work are not even the electoral commissioner appointed by the president, but the people at the grassroots. However, I still hold the point that if the head is correct, the subordinates will be in line. But if the head is not correct, the subordinates will fall. Yes, Honorable Wisdom, I'll be calling you. Yes, I'll be calling you. I believe that if the electoral commissioner is very strict and in appointing the people to work at regions and districts, they state clearly that if you have an affiliation, your form is not going to be considered. There is zero tolerance to anything that does not go in line. They will not tolerate anything below the line. And anyone seen to be in bed with a political party will be sacked. And sanctions are very clear because the head is independent and does not have any influence from anyone. The subordinates, 80% to 90% will be in line. But if the head herself or himself has a problem, he wouldn't be able to solve the later issues identified at the grassroots. Thank you. Honorable Wisdom, let's hear from you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. It's like you've said everything I wanted to say. The very simple thing is just fix the system. The EC at the top is very independent. The system is very working. So it's very difficult for someone at the grassroots to go astray, to go in favor for one particular candidate or a particular party. It will be very, 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 very difficult. When you come to Ghana like this, you see, we do not have a good system. So you could see people could just throw rubbish anywhere, here and there. Then when you go to the Western world, you see, because of how they do how their system is working, even when you want to do that thing, you are even feeling shy to do it. Shyness is there, and you are even afraid because someone will bring you to book. So the actual thing for us to do is just fix the system, let the system work. After the system starts working, any other person will just have to follow the system. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that addition. And that is as well in consonant. Someone will still claim that J.J. Rollins was correct, but the people who are around him were not correct. They can still make the same claim that presidents are visionary, but the people around them. So we need strong institutions, just as Wisdom stated, and strong people. We need the two of them in order to ensure the system does not get corrupted. If we can revise and take out the loopholes in the Electoral Commission, and whether or not appointed by the president or elected by parliament, we get someone who has strong attributes and undoubted integrity, our elections will be free and fair. The institution has to be strong, and the person leading has to be strong. And it starts with us doing the right thing. Leadership by example. I want to call on student governance and governments to ensure that election is done right. If they are not doing election right, they shouldn't expect national elections to also be done right. I have colleagues who say that the people at the top are born before computers. All they are doing is outmoded. We that should be the lights of the future, what we are doing is even terrible. Terrible beyond measure. How does this resonate with the fact that the youths are the future of the country, when the youths are even doing worse than the current people? The future becomes very scary when our own colleagues cannot do the right thing. So even if the system is working well, the people to head the system are already corrupt, and work cannot be done well. I still agree that the Electoral Commission should be elected. But if we still elect someone who does not have integrity, even when the institution is strong, they will create loopholes and the problem will still be there. We need both of them. So at least in changing the system, we just need to ensure that we get the right people and the problem will be solved. Honourable members, thank you. And this brings us to the end of the debate. However, I still have to put the question. Honourable members, at the conclusion of the debate, all members in favor that the House resolves that the President should not appoint the Electoral Commissioner, but the person should be elected to promote the independence. Say aye.
Aye.
Not in favor, say nay. Honourable members, I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Therefore, this House has accordingly adopted the motion for debate. Honourable members, we'll now move to adjournment. Please, does anyone have any question so that we answer and then we adjourn the House? Are there any questions? If you have any question, you want to make a contribution. Yes, Honourable Brew.
Honourable Speaker, please, mine is not a question. I didn't join the sitting early. So on the issues concerning the how do you call it? The earlier submissions that you make, I wasn't able to get. So I wanted to ask if it was recorded, it can be sent to the page so that we that weren't able to come for the sitting or weren't able to join the sitting early will go back and then hear the feed again. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, we are recording. And right after adjournment, it will be saved and be uploaded. By tomorrow morning, the recording will be available for view. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable.
Yes, Honourable Agumbila.
Good evening, honorable members. Please, mine is not a. I just want to apologize for being present late to do that's why. But at the beginning, I was not able, like my honorable member said, I'll also be glad if you can send the recording for us to also listen. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So the recording will be shared latest by tomorrow. It will be uploaded on YouTube and at our youth government system page. Thank you. Honourable members, having surpassed the time allocated for this sitting, which was 1 hour, we have sat for more than 1 hour. And on that note, this House do now stand adjourned to the 5th sitting of the 2nd session of the first Parliament of this youth government system of the International Youth Network for United Nations Resolution 2250. Thank you. This House do stand adjourned.